The protection just under the cab was put back in place. Then I had realized that high gear for some reason didn't want to work anymore. It was functioning fine when the machine was used a little this winter, but at the end of the use it just didn't want to function. I was confident it was just as simple as a little electrical issue. Started with checking all the fuses both near the circuit breaker and inside the cab. Could find a couple faulty, but nothing that had to do with the high gear. Apparently it's quite common that the solenoids that activates the valves fail, so that was my second thought, or that it just didn't get any order to pull on the solenoid. So rigged up some wiring and could see if any power was delivered to it. Activating higher is a little zoomed in here, so it's hard to see, but as it's activated I get power to it, so that seems to function at least. Next was pulling the solenoid, and I had stolen one that was exactly the same from the harvester that I put on there, and did a quick test to see if that made a difference, but no, it did not, so have to dig a little deeper, it seems. When activating high gear it actually moves even slower than in low gear, and that kind of makes sense, because since it thinks it's in high mechanical gear, it angles the pump a little less and should still maintain a higher speed. So now that it's still stuck in the mechanical low gear as it seems, and it angles the plate in the pump less when trying to move, it simply goes slower. Did a few tests on the bench with putting power to the solenoid, and it pulls a metal rod in, so that's functioning. Returned the part that had been stolen from the harvester for testing. I did test the solenoid that was put back, the other one that was loose also. Then I pulled apart that spare block that we removed earlier, because it has similar, not the exact same kind, but pulled out the valve inside to kind of have a expectation what to find when pulling the one from the block in the forwarder. It was really well on there, but eventually it came undone with a big crack. And with that off, I could bring it inside and test it on the bench and see that when giving it power, I put the solenoid on there and could see that it seems to pull the valve no problem, so I can't see it being an issue here. Eventually put this back on there, because everything seems to work. In an earlier video I tried I think according to the manual I have good pressure here. I will do a few more tests later on and see if the diff lockers actually operates. Yeah, I had also found that this front part of the seat can kind of slide forward. It's like big pocket for collecting dirt there. I also get a little electrical gremlin saying I have too high oil temperature, but it's not too high, it's just some electrical fault. Tried tapping the cylinder that should activate or deactivate the high gear to see if that was kind of jammed a little and would move, but still no go on the high gear. So well, the problem wasn't solved in this video, so there will be a follow-up.